Just be you, man. Be yourself. Be real. Have your own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and act on these things the way you want to act on them. Speak your mind, no matter what. Speak your thoughts, speak your mind. You know what I'm saying? And just be real. Be authentic. Do whatever life throws at you, man. Just be authentic. And, being authentic means you're remaining true to your thoughts and your values and everything like that, your emotions, anything you're feeling, you're remaining true to those things. And you're doing that no matter what happens in life, no matter what situation you're put in. You're remaining true to your thoughts and your emotions. You're remaining true to your values. And, that's what being authentic is. And, you know, in this life, people are going to try to change that. People are going to try to change the way you think, change the way you feel, just change how you act, stuff like that. But you can't let them. You gotta be yourself. You gotta remain real through those times. And, if there's people trying to change you, then 9 times out of 10, those people ain't real themselves. You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real all the time. And if you always being real with somebody, and those people are fake and those people are putting on a facade, then that might irk their soul and their spirit, and they might leave on their own. But you also gotta recognize that you can't be around those people, man. You can't be around the fake people. You gotta surround yourself with real people. You know what I'm saying? Real recognize real, like I just said. And through that all, you still gotta be yourself. You still gotta remain real. Like, don't let anybody change you. Don't change for anybody. Yeah, there's things you can improve on. Like, I'm not saying that, but don't change your whole everything for somebody. Be yourself, be authentic. And you know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's natural for us as humans to, want to change and want to fit in with everybody or want to feel like we belong. But the truth about that is, we can't do that. On the grand scheme of things, we can't do that. You know, we got to remain real through everything, because if we're putting on this facade, if we're putting on this front just to fit in with people and, to feel like we belong with people, then we're not going to be able to build a real connection with these people. We're not going to be able to build a true relationship with these people, because we're always putting on this facade, we're always putting on this front, and they might be bringing the real to us, but what we're giving to them, it's not real at all. Like, what we're giving to them is fake. It's a persona that we're putting on, and we're never going to be able to build a relationship with them with our true self, because we're always feeding them this front, we're always feeding them this persona, and we just got to be authentic. We got to keep it real, and when you keep it real, like, then you can build a real connection with people. Then you can build a real relationship with people, because you're bringing your true self to the table. It's not that persona that you're putting on to fit in with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying conformity is always a bad thing. I'm not saying conformity is always negative or anything like that, because sometimes in life you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes in life you got to fit in. Sometimes in life, you got to feel like you belong to get to the places you want to go. You know what I'm saying? It happens. But 99% of the time, man, you just got to be real. You got to be yourself. You got to keep it real with everybody, no matter what their thoughts are on you, no matter what they feel about you, no matter how they feel about you. You just got to be yourself through everything. And you know what I'm saying? You don't got to put on a facade for anybody. You don't got to be fake for anybody. If they don't like how you are, if they don't like the real you, then they shouldn't be around you, period. Don't feel like you got to act fake towards somebody. Don't feel like you got to change yourself for somebody. And I just talked about this a little minute ago, but don't feel like you got to change yourself for somebody at all. Just be real. And if they don't like it, they can go. Like, straight like that. If they don't like it, you know what I'm saying, then that's on them. You know what I'm saying? Just be you. And also, you got to be authentic with, the words you're speaking. You got to always speak your mind. You got to always speak your thoughts. You got to always speak your feelings, no matter what. And I'm not saying, say anything crazy or something like that. Like, to a certain extent, speak your mind, speak your thoughts, let it be heard what you're thinking, let it be heard what you're feeling. And even if it's not, if you feel like it's not the most popular thing to say in the moment, or if you feel like, it might go over a lot of people's heads, like, that don't matter. You still got to speak your mind. You still got to speak your feelings. Like, you have feelings for a reason. Let them be known. Let them be heard. You know what I'm saying? Speak them emotions you're feeling. Because if they don't ever know, then, you know what I'm saying, if you don't speak them, how are they going to know how you're feeling? How are you going to know? How are they going to know what your thoughts are? And you know what I'm saying? If you feel one way, don't say you feel another way. Like, let it be known. Let them know how you're feeling. Let them know what your thoughts are. Because if you don't, and maybe you're feeling a negative way, If those negative thoughts just continue to stack and stack and stack in your brain, then there's going to be a day where you just lash out on everybody. Like, it's going to happen. It's a snowball effect. Like, there's going to be a day where it's built up to the point where you have to let it all out. So, from the jump, just let them feelings be known. Let them thoughts be heard. And another part of staying real, and another part of, just being authentic is, you got to follow through on the things you promise to people. You got to follow through on the things you tell people. If you make a promise to somebody, keep it. Follow through on it. And that goes with building a real connection. Like, you got to build trust with people. And the only way you can build trust is following through on what you said you were going to do. Be real. Be a real man, and, follow through on that thing you said you was going to do. You told your man you was going to give him $5. Give him that $5. That's building trust. That's building respect. That's building a real connection. Just follow through on everything that you promise to people. And honestly, man, just being real, being authentic, it brings a lot of benefits to you, not only your life, but people around you too. And the first one is you're going to be dedicated. You're going to be more dedicated because you're putting your time and your energy towards something, that you're genuinely inspired and you're genuinely motivated to do. You're being real with yourself. You're being authentic. So you're not trying to do, or you're not trying to, fit in with everybody else and do what everybody else is doing. You're doing the things you want to do. You're doing the things you feel like you need to do, or you feel like you want to do in life. You're not chasing, what everybody else is chasing. You're just genuinely doing what you want to do. You're genuinely doing the things you want to do. You're genuinely spending the time and the energy in where you want to spend that time and energy. You're not trying to fit in with everybody else. And the second one is you're going to be more confident. Self-confidence comes from self-trust. And, when you're always being real with yourself, you're always being authentic, you're going to become more confident in your abilities because you have the ability to be honest with yourself. You're always being real with yourself. Like, you're going to be able to be honest with yourself. You're going to know the things you're good at. You're going to know the things you're bad at. You're going to know the things that you bring to the table in a relationship or like a friendship, anything like that, any situation. You're going to know the things you bring to the table. And then you're going to know the things that you need to improve on. That's trusting yourself. That's being self-aware. That's, self-trust. And, if you promise yourself you're going to improve on them things, you promise yourself you're going to be better at the things, you're bad at. And, like I said earlier, that's how you build trust. You follow through on your promises. So when you have self-trust, that leads to self-confidence. And, if you just be real with yourself, if you continue to be yourself and, be real, be authentic, then the self-confidence is going to come because you're already building that trust within yourself and you're working on those things you promise yourself you'll work on. And then the self-confidence is going to follow. The third one is, and you'll be able to build stronger and deeper relationships, stronger and deeper connections. And I spoke about this a little bit a couple minutes ago, but I just want to touch on it one more time. Like, the strong relationships and the strong friendships, connections, whatever you want to call it, those will follow. Those will come when you start being real, when you start being yourself. Relationships are built on trust. Relationships are built on people being genuine, people being real. Like I said earlier, you got to follow through on the things you promise to people. And trust is a big part of connections, relationships, friendships, whatever. Trust is probably the biggest part. And when you follow through on these promises, you build trust. You build a real connection from that. And, the fourth and final one is, you're going to see an increase in your mental health. Your mental health, like, being real helps your mental health. Being real helps your mental health grow. Being real helps your mental health increase. And I say this because your thoughts and your actions will become aligned when you're being real with yourself and we're just being authentic. You're not thinking one thing and acting a different way. You're not, feeling one way and saying a different thing. Like, you're not lying about how you feel. Like, you're just being real. Your thoughts and your actions are aligning. You're basically doing the things you want to do. You're basically doing the things you feel, things you think, and you're acting on them how you want to act on them. So, you're not working against yourself. You're not going back on yourself. And, that's going to build mental health because, like, you're going in the right direction. You're doing the things you want to do. And then on top of that, you're going to start doing things for yourself. You're going to start prioritizing your mental health. You're going to start prioritizing, self-care, things like that. You're going to start reading, going on walks, drinking more water, waking up early, whatever that may be. You're going to start prioritizing mental health. You're going to start, doing things that increase your mental health. And, being real, starting to be real, starting to be authentic. This doesn't have to be a real big jump. You don't have to change in one day. Start small. Start being more and more authentic every single day. Start speaking your mind more and more and more every single day until like it's fully there, until you're just being yourself flat out. Like don't try to flip the switch in just one day, because that's not possible. Like people don't change in a day. Pyramids weren't built in a day. You know what I'm saying? So start small. Think of the ways that you want to be more real, you want to be more authentic, and do those things. Start speaking your mind more. Start just being yourself. Start being yourself around your friends or the people around you. You know what I'm saying? Speak your mind around them. Be real, be authentic. Just be you. Be yourself. Be who you are. And you're gonna see increases, you're gonna see benefits from it. Those benefits I just named, like you're gonna start seeing those things come to fruition in your life when you simply just be yourself. Like it's not a hard thing to do. you know I know it's gonna be hard because you're gonna be worrying about what everybody else think, but like I said in one of my last videos, no, you simply can't care what everybody else think. You got to do what you want to do in this life. You just got to be you. If they don't like it, they can go. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about what they're thinking. Just be yourself. Be authentic. But that'll be all for this video, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Um, if you have not subbed up yet, go ahead and hit that sub button. Drop a like down below. We're on the road to 100 subs, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in, and I'll see y'all in the next one.